So now we have to basically protect Cereza by using weapons in reality, because this is the only way that Bayonetta can actually physically damage the angels while she's in her normal body. So this is a bit of an annoying verse, but it's definitely possible to get through. Yeah, probably a good idea to get rid of the Gaze of Despair, because it's not helping at all. And so we have this massive beloved crashing through the ceiling, something that is one of Kamiya-san's trademarks. So you have Phantom in Devil May Cry, Helicopter in Beautiful Joe, there's apparently a liquor in Resident Evil 2, and can't remember what the enemy is in Okami. I think Kamiya-san said it was Kuzuki, but I think that's not quite right. Either way, it's fine. Now, only until very recently, a lot of people were under the belief, they believed that Cereza was voiced by Stephanie Sheh, who also voices like Hinata in Naruto. Now, I always knew that this wasn't the case, but anyway, I'll continue that in a minute. Purgatorio, Centre of the Trinity. One of the unique aspects of the religion in this town is the people's belief that the world is actually made up of three unique realms layered on top of each other: human world, Inferno, and Paradiso, the Trinity of realities. However, the wavelengths of the spirit energy in each of these realities is different, and inhabitants of each are unable to interfere with the other's affairs, despite the fact that the worlds are layered. It's said that Lumen Sages and Umbral Witches have the unique ability to pass into a realm known as Purgatorio and travel amongst the Trinity. It is believed that the Witches and Sages each made contracts with the Masters of the Light and Dark worlds and can use special abilities granted to them by their Masters. Underlying all of this, though, is the presence of the Trinity of realities. Even during the witch hunts, it seems those suspected of being witches were lured into Purgatorio, an act that people called being spirited away, and their presence in the No Man's Land was used as justification for further acts of persecution. To further explain Purgatorio, one must understand that those within the realm are unable to see or touch those in the human world, nor are humans in their own world able to intervene in the affairs of Purgatorio. Moreover, what we identify as material objects may have different appearances in the different realities, yet when these items are destroyed in one world, they will be destroyed in all worlds. This may explain why many place religious interpretations upon the phenomenon of unexplained destruction that occurs in their everyday lives. So, as I was saying about Cereza, people thought she was voiced by Stephanie Sheh. I always knew that that was rubbish. I never once believed it, because she sounds too much like a little girl. And very recently, I asked Kamiya-san on his Twitter, who voiced Cereza, because we didn't know. And basically, she was voiced by a little girl. Unfortunately, we will never know her name, because her mum asked that she wasn't credited, but she was a little American girl, and they asked her to speak with a British accent, and apparently she had a little bit of a lisp, and she's just adorable. Fantastic little actress, and I'm quite sad that we don't know her name, because she could kind of go on to be kind of a big star somewhere. We may never know, and that's quite sad. But I mean, I can completely understand where the mother's coming from, because I mean, if my child had done a voice for a game like Bayonetta, I wouldn't necessarily want them to find it whilst they were growing up, because Bayonetta's a bit too old. for anybody under the age of 15, 16. I mean, technically, well, basically because that's what the BBFC rating was. However, belief that Stephanie Sheh did the voicing for Cereza was not completely misplaced, because she did the motion capture for Cereza, and she's quite small, but nowhere near as small as Cereza is.
Hey.
And now we're in Paradiso, which
How
is
you got lost to begin with.
obviously very pretty. And we're stuck. Great.
Mommy.
Don't worry, it's always scary the first time you see them. So, where was I? Oh, yes. Your kind invitation. I do hope you've prepared dessert as well.
And Fly Me to the Moon makes another wonderful return. I love this chapter, it's just great.
Oh, what a lovely tea party. And dancing, too. Cereza, my dear, watch and learn.
And now we have to face off against Fairness and Fearless again. This is just great. Thankfully you don't have to worry about Cereza getting damaged, affecting your score at all, so that's great. So yeah, I mean pretty much most of... In some cases, we were good with getting the voice actors' names correct, because people managed Helena Taylor, Grey Delisle, Yuri Lowenthal, Dave Fennoy. Yes, managed all of them, but didn't manage Enzo, Cereza, and our primary antagonist, who we have yet to meet. We've heard his voice numerous times, but we haven't met him yet. Now, if you recall, kind of when we were running through that that corridor, there were some kind of unique animations with Cereza stumbling, and there's a little one where she jangles the pens, which is really adorable. And they kind of added it to a later date, but they had to get a student in to do them. So, oh dear. This beloved is creepy. Song here, it's First Love. And this is taking on incredibly horrific paedophilic tones. Yeah, we need to get Cereza back immediately. Because, yeah, I don't feel safe leaving her with this thing. Now, this beloved is actually kind of more difficult than the other beloveds in the sense that he's got more shockwaves, he's got a meteor attack, obviously he's huge. So he's a little bit harder to read. But kind of, yes, after you've done kind of one hit, you can... Well, not one hit, done enough damage, you'll get that. And, yeah, hopefully we can defeat him soon enough. There we go. Come on out, Gamora. Let's save Cereza. Music here is Lovelorn, which is so sad. That poor beloved, killed before it could do anything with its love. Thank God. But we can't rest quite yet, because that's not Bayonetta. If you were eagle-eyed enough, then you probably spotted that as Cereza fell into her arms. Now, be careful here. If these lasers damage you, then they do count towards your ranking in verse 9. So be careful. Also, you really do need to go quickly here, because if you don't catch up to this monster, then you get a unique game over screen, where just kind of Cereza's cat doll is on the ground. Music here is hilarious, sexy battle. It's just great. I love this cutscene. It comes out of nowhere and it's just wonderful. And despite how good the lighting is in this scene, it's not pre-rendered, which is just fantastic. Nice little pause to think that that's just ridiculous. And now we have to fight ourselves, which is very bizarre. No, we do have to take off the entire health bar, so make sure you don't get hurt too much. But the fight's not going to be over after this is done, so just watch. Because right here we have the naughty little angel, Joy. Now, something that the designer stated was that there aren't really that many chances to design female characters, especially enemy characters. So it was very fun to design Joy. Particularly because kind of her weapon changes shape in real time, and they tried to add something at the tip. But when Joy was designed, the designer had absolutely no idea that the torture attack would end up being anything like this. Yeah, that's definitely the most sexual one in the game. Well and truly. Now, if you attack the first Joy quickly enough, you can prevent her from splitting into two. But to be perfectly honest, it really doesn't matter. Because if you have two of them, then you can just get more combo points off them, which is fine. And here we have our final piece for our weapon. Took us long enough. So we have Le Patineur Waltz, OP number 183. We'll be getting that kind of collected shortly. The Angel's Banquet Hall, Alfheim. Vickert has long held the notion that the world is comprised of a trinity of realities, Paradiso, Inferno, and the human world. However, since the era of the witch hunts, where the Umbra Witches met total annihilation, Vigridians have held that Paradiso, the world of light, is the most perfect of these realms and worshipped it as such. Yet, as normal human beings are unable to experience this heaven, the Vigridians' feelings regarding Paradiso manifest themselves in various ways. Even the Porta del Paradiso, ruins of which remain to this day, where were born as an act of Paradiso worship. These structures, stone discs 3 meters in diameter, were said to represent portals into Paradiso itself. It was believed that when the gods extended the people a helping hand, they would do so via the portals, guiding them to Paradiso. Thus, the Porta were placed in spiritually powerful locations. I have one more interesting aside. Within Paradiso, there are said to be secret rooms known as Alphi, where angels gather and hold their banquets. The Porta del Paradiso, created by man, are said to mimic the entrances to these Alphi. Legend has it that if someone were to stumble across one of these portals while in Purgatorio, they may enter an Alpine, upon which the angels would entertain the lost visitor and bless them justly. Obviously, we know what blessing justly means when you're a witch. Now, do make sure to get that Umbran resting place. It's another broken witch heart, always very helpful. And that just about covers everything in Chapter 6. We just need to leave through the portal, because we have everything now. And we're back out into Vigrid, although we are right at the edges, at the Air Force Base. Quite like these horses, just randomly sitting there. Also, remember that little baby cherub statue? Prominent bridge. As part of the Ithavold Group's plans for further development of Vigrid, the man-made island of Isla del Sol, a new urban centre, was constructed and outfitted with a new highway stretching a total of 41.295 kilometres, 26.218 miles. As expected, travelling this highway, which links the major island areas of Vigrid to the island, requires vigorous checks, and its usefulness is limited to Vigridian authorities, Ithavold Group material transports, and a select group of authorised personnel. The bridge connecting the island to the mainland is an enormous overseas suspension bridge. The structures supporting the bridge's wires are shaped like the bright solar flares that shoot out from the sun's surface, giving the crossing its name, Prominence Bridge. It is truly a symbol of the modernity that has come to Vigrid. So, oh, look who it is.
Mummy? You're a mom? You?
Come now, Cheshire. Look at me. Do I look like I have any interest in children? Now making them, well, that's another story.
Always have to go with the sexual Bayonetta, don't you?
Whoa. You're getting the wrong idea. I mean, it might be the right idea, but not right now, right?
Right.
Yeah, speaking of right, I'm glad I've been standing around waiting for you, because I knew we'd cross paths.
I believe the song just there was Cunning. Great.
The only way to reach the upper crust and their gated island of champagne
Not sure.
wishes and caviar dreams is over Prominence Bridge.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes, the island. Lovely place, isn't it? Oh, now what?
Don't play games with me. You've worked your magic on this poor defenseless child, haven't you? You're
Oh,
a
Luca.
sad, sick woman. You know that? I was her age when you killed my father. Wait. No. You couldn't. Oh my God, you did, didn't you? You killed her parents.
Come to think of it.
Okay, I
she's
think
better off
this
than you.
song actually is
You two are more
Cunning.
vessel than you're worth.
What?
Just keep a good eye on her, or you're going to catch hell for it. No good deed goes unpunished, and you never know when a monster may sneak up on you.
Mummy, look out!
It's never simple, is it?
Mummy, no!
It's fine, Cereza. But, yes, it seems that Cereza can see Bayonetta when she's in Purgatorio. Interesting. But yes, that is Chapter 6 done and dusted. Oh yeah. I have to say, I do like that chapter. Clearly, it's not one of my most successful chapters.
I should have been a pole dancer.
But still, I do love it. It's just so fun. And just Cereza, just adorable. One of my favourite characters in the game. She's just wonderful. So let's finish off another angel attack, and then we can head on to the second boss of the game. Who, let's just say, is huge, as to be expected, and also an excellent Halo farming technique, as you will see shortly. So let's head onwards to Chapter 7. The Cardinal Virtue of Temperance.